And welcome back everyone to the Formula F1 League. I'm Chris, no quirky as you can see, because unfortunately got called into work, which does happen, but that means you get to deal with me a bit more, so positives and negatives, you make up your mind. Anyways, it's time now for Japan, and it's time now for chaos. That first sector's going to be lethal, the spoon's going to be lethal, 130R is going to be lethal, everything is just going to be lethal and well. After what turned out to be a somewhat quiet race in China, all things considered, that can definitely go into the bag here in Japan. Because, as Flying Finn said in the interviews, this will separate the pretenders from the contenders. And we could possibly even see Baz secure the Drivers' Championship here as well. So we'll see how everything goes. As everyone's chosen their tyres, now just need to load into the track, and we can get things underway for the 18 minutes of qualifying, and then 50% around Suzuka. As you can see there, we're almost ready to go. As I bring the mic a bit closer to myself, and there we go. It's a wet qualifying. Let's go. Oh, this is going to be drama laden, ladies and gentlemen. Get ready. Get ready for some memes and a half. As well, be interesting to see what happens. That's definitely for sure. As no cars willing to head out on to the track just yet. But hopefully they will file out eventually enough. There we go, the first car will come through here. Looks like it will be an AlphaTauri. And that first AlphaTauri, will be Winslow, who obviously didn't get to qualify last time out due to a ban. And will be looking to try and post a bit of a flyer of a lap here. See how he goes. As once again I click on the wrong button. You can see that he's already struggling a touch here, as many of the cars should be. I'm actually surprised they're not going on to wets at the moment as all. There we go, there's a spin! To lose a bit of wing damage. Oh, has to be careful there. Can't just drive straight into the back of Formal there. But yeah, it's a pretty dangerous stuff. Luckily, everyone is on a formation lap, so he should have plenty of time to eventually spin himself around. But yeah, as cars just continue to trundle onto the track. Interesting to see how everyone goes here. What will be a very hectic qualifying, as it looks like Basing will have a moment there at the hairpin. He's able to recover. So we'll stay with Max for the moment here, as Stan is also now on to the Renault team. So he might be bringing some pride for the yellow and black cars, as Max looks like he had a little bit of opposite lock there as he begins his first flyer. Has to be wary of the cars inside of him here, as he gets right up behind that Mercedes, and he's forced wide because of it here. So he will probably have to go again to make amends for that. But oh, there we go. He has a bit too much there. He goes onto the gravel. He's really struggling here to make it through the corners, as Moss is the first one to be hunted out at the second corner. And he'll be the first car who will not be able to post a lap time here. So he'll start at the back of the grid. A lot of cars seem to be struggling here, as we're just having yellow flags everywhere. Andy Roo now out here. He's bended just before 130R. His teammate will be coming around, as he's currently kind of outlap here, but we should see where his teammate ended up. And yeah, looks like he just went straight on there. Very unfortunate stuff for him, as cars continue to have issues everywhere here. Yellow flags out now in Sector 1, and that being for a McLaren as we go back to formal. He'll be close to finishing off his first fast lap here. 2 cars already out of the qualifying session, being Moss and Andy Root. As Max now just heads into that final corner. See if he can keep it together for a respectable time. 143.1 will be the benchmark, as a few cars now make their way behind. It will be Heidinho, who now goes fastest time as well. Who's in second. Tico flying some good time there to go into 141.03. Yeah, a lot of cars will be suspecting having issues at the moment. Just really struggling to get used to this wet Suzuka. As I believe Darkley, that's not Darkley, will be money then. He's about to finish off one of his flies. He does have a car right up behind him here, as he looks to just try and finish off. He's now the slowest, as Midnight is in for his only drive of the day. Comes into 4th. Kenny Salmon, well, I presume he'll be going for another fast lap here. Obviously, the best thing to do with intermediates is to fuel it up for 2 or 3 laps and just let the tyres warm up here. That's what he's going to be trying to do, and he's doing it quite nicely, I would have to say. At the moment, at least. So we'll just say with Kenny for now, as he makes his way towards the end of that very, very long first sector. Let's see what time he posts. It's 13 seconds spent in his first one there, and it's enough to take out the purple for the moment. As he makes his way now through the first hairpin. Or through the hairpin, sorry. Very well at the moment here, Kenny, as he looks to just try and pit Six Empire here, who is on a who has held the fastest lap, 40.2 for him, as another yellow flag out in Sector 1 once again for a AlphaTauri. They're really struggling through the S's here, as again another purple comes up here for Kenny Salmon. Now he just needs 2 more corners to negotiate here. Now down to 1. This should be an absolute blitzer of a lap here. As he comes across the line, it's enough for pole. Thought it would be a little bit faster, but he's got provisional pole nonetheless. More yellow flags continue to pop out here. As I will jump over to Dover now, who is currently on a fast lap for himself. He actually goes purple in that second sector. Pretty decent stuff for him there, as he makes his way into the final few corners. Let's see what time he can boast. As he comes across the line, it will be good enough for 6. Just need to mute myself for 2 seconds, everyone. Please excuse me. Sorry about that, everyone, as Starner's just come in to post a fastest lap, so it's an unfortunate time to get a very important message, I would say so. Just thinking if anyone might be on a fast lap here, maybe basing might be. Let's see what time he posts going through the first sector. Should find out. He is just off what he posted the first time around, so yeah, he is going to be on a fast lap here. As, oh, that is an Alfa Romeo stricken there underneath the bridge. Very dangerous spot to have been at, if I do say so himself. But now Mason continues to run around. Let's see if he can improve on his times. He's going past the spoon right now. Going in nearly into the Williams. Williams will eventually let himself through, or let him through. Now makes him run up what is the alternative start line. He comes through and he's a lot slower there. About 6/10 off what he posted earlier. And that could just be enough for him to file into the pits. Yep, he goes into the pits, so we're seeing what some of the cars have done at the moment. Doe has posted a time bit off the fourth there at 14.3. Rain continues to pour down here at SUZUKA, so I don't think cars will be improving on their times too much. As Baz is now on his out lap, just seeing if anyone might be on a fast lap here. Maybe Hedinho. But he's just hit track limits there, so his time will be discounted. Focus has had an absolute moment there, and well, you can just see he's lost a fair bit of front wing there, so he will fall back into the pits for the moment. Now, let's see if Formal might be on a fast lap here. He improved massively in the first sector. Let's see what he can do in the next two as makes his way around the hairpin. And he's moving well enough here as more yellow flags come out. This time a Racing Point and an Alfred Towery in the first sector having some moments as Formal makes his way around the spoon into the straight towards 130 here. As he improves, he's actually gone purple there in the second sector. Will it be enough to possibly knock Starn off pole position for the moment? He's into the chicane. I don't think he'll have enough pace to get there in time. He might improve, however, into the 141s as he crosses the line. 141.5, very respectable, goes into 7th place from it. And now we jump over to the driver's leader here. It's going to be Baz as he makes his way to his customary one qualifying lap. Oh, that's a multitude of yellow flags there that come out at one. Instantaneous time here as, yeah, as you can see a lot of cars struggling to go around SUZUKA in the lead here. This could be huge at the end of qualifying, but for now, Baz goes purple in the first sector, onto the hairpin now. Man who does have a lot of experience here with SUZUKA. As you heard earlier in the interview, he did say this is one of his pet tracks. He'll be looking to just try and absolutely nail qualifying and then absolutely nail the race as well. As he makes his way into the back stretch. He's going nicely through his gears here. Might even top out about 300 k's an hour as he goes through sector 2. And it's going to be yet another purple sector for him here. He keeps it nice and clean here through the third. That will be pole position in his bag as he goes 1, 2, how do you do through that final chicane into the last corner here. That is going to be a stonker of a lap time. But is it enough for pole? Yes, it is by 3/10. Baz with pole position now in his bag, but cars are currently on flyers here, one of them being Kenny. But he's not improving here, so he'll probably have another chance to increase his time, although he has gone purple in the second sector, but that first sector just really costing him, so it seems, being 6/10 off the pace there. We'll come across the line, probably won't improve as I said, but if he does go for another flyer, this could mean he could have some momentum going through here as looks like Senpai I'll be starting another lap here. Not too sure. I'm just seeing who else might currently be on track here. As as we have a yellow flag in sector 3. I'm not sure for what, but there we go. There's one of the Ferraris going slow, and I think that's affected one of the, well, that's affecting a fair few cars to say the least, as Baz just goes past. I think Dover had a moment there. It's caught out as our Winslow's lost it. As Tico improves up one spot, we will stick with him because we will see what the hell happened to Winslow. Hopefully we should see what's happened to Winslow there. As, well, it looks like Winslow's just going to be underneath the camera. So it looks like he's just lost it and put it into the wall. Very unfortunate stuff for him there as Zahn crosses the line. He improves on his time, but it's not enough to jump a position. As Baz, well, got hampered probably there by between his own teammate there, so he won't be improving on his second fly, as Dover has to go to the grass to get past Baz, and he is going very, very wide because of it here, so his chance to improve might just been gone as Timber Rains there as there's yellow flags out in sector 3 yet again, as Senpai goes fastest and along with Kenny as well. And basing, everyone goes fastest after being yellow flagged in the final chicane. That just came from nowhere. God, Kenny Basing and Nick Senpai putting out some absolute blinders there. To now pole, Kenny especially, he's the first one to break into the 38s. 28.7 for him, pretty good time. So I don't think there might be a car that's about to complete a lap here. Next one probably would be probably Starn, as well. Obviously he won't be improving. He's coming into the pits. His qualifying should be done there. So with that, we'll go back to Dover and see him complete his own qualifying. Was up to 4th at the start of his qualifying, but now he is slid back here. He won't be improving on this time as well. As I said, it definitely looks like Lorraine is maybe getting a touch harder here, so interesting to see how Car Silver has Formal now is on his fast side. He goes past first sector, and he's improved by a full second here, so he can keep that at the very least. He would go up all the way into 11th there, but obviously a bit more room for improvement as well. He could go even further up, depending on how he goes for the rest of the lap. Slides a little bit there through the hairpin, and say Dinho comes out of nowhere to post a pole position there. Very good stuff from him, as we will stick to the formal for the moment. Flying finish on an outlet. We might jump over to him once Max has finished off his lap. I think he's coming through the final few corners now. Let's see where he goes. It's going to be huge as Dinho has lost it at the first corner, or the second corner really, in formal. He improves all the way up into 9th, so good stuff for him now. Seeing who might be close to posting a lap here, Starn might be, but he's posted track limits again, so wonder if he has an upfield for one more Banzai run. Looks like he should be able to be, so he goes around for one more time. Dover about to finish off his qualifying lap, but he's hit tracks as well, and he won't have a chance to do another lap here. So qualifying now closes. Just the cars to finish off their times here as Senpai continues to improve here. Can he do enough to upset for pole? He's getting close to the line, and he will only be able to jump up into 3rd. So no position there for Loreno. As I believe Darkley is getting close to finishing off the lap, although... No, sorry, he's finished, so we're looking at the meter at the moment here. As Nothing But Tilt is out of session as well here. Those cars quickly taken away there by Marshals. As Money goes into the pits, doesn't finish off that final lap here, flying Finn. Now, it's very close to the line here, might be improving, and it's good enough for third. So Finn's had an absolute blind in the last qualifying lap, and he will join his teammate to go second and third. Can anyone upset the McLaren Apple Cart though? Doesn't seem likely, as there's only Stun, Money and Focus to come across and finish his times. And well, can he improve? He does, up to 6. So he will be line to stern with his teammate on the grid. As a few cars come through, Focus will be last. He's got hit track limits there, so his times will not be improving, and that will be qualifying done. So good qualifying there for Heidinho, who will now pole position. Dover, a 5 position penalty for him there though. That is huge. That will probably knock him all the way down. Well, he will knock him down into 16th. So that's bad news of the Ferraris. But yeah, looking at the rest of the grid here, it's Heidinho in pole, Kenny second, Finn third, Senpai fourth, then Basink driving well for fifth, Starline to serve his teammate in sixth, and then Baz Darkly Pin and Formal finish out the top 10, and then everyone else below is in the bottom 10. As you may have guessed. Anyways, now let's see what sort of weather we get here. For the main race, will it be wet, or will we have a dry session here for the 50 laps? We'll find out soon enough. As we wait to load back in. Taking a fair while to load in as well, so that's not convenient, is it? And it looks like it will be a wet start as well here, but we might be having some internet trouble or some server issues here, so yeah, I might just have to crash the game, which is always fun and exciting to do. And it won't do it normally, so I have to go into Task Manager to do it. So we'll go back to my screen for a quick moment as we get things back all sorted here, and hopefully not open up Microsoft Edge. But yeah, Heidinho, massive lap from there to make it into pole. He was struggling a touch when we did see him for a few times, but yeah, just posted an absolute blinder, and well, shame we didn't get to see it on stream, but he gets pole, and he does it, well, relatively well. Nice little gap between him and, ow! Rather on my toe, god damn it. Everyone else. That actually stings, just saying it right now, but anyways, we should be close to getting back into the game. There we go, just need to tap through all of this. Just need to wait and wait and wait before the games come up. Actually, don't need a controller, I just need to do this. Yeah, apologies for this little technical interruption, everyone. Hopefully it shouldn't be too much of a hassle here. As we just pop into Discord. And it looks like our formation lap's already started here, so hopefully we won't have an issue. But this could just add yet another layer of drama here as Yep, it's, oh my god, it's full wet. It's full bloody wet. Oh my god. This is going to be something else here, as the cars are absolutely spread out here. Just before the kick. And well, everyone, get ready for an absolutely soaking Japanese Grand Prix. Well, hey, Dinho, already past the final corner here, and his teammate yet to finish off the spoon here, so he'll be on the grid for a very, very long time. As everyone should hopefully make it back in time for the tires to stay somewhat warm, as Stan and Senpai get DQ'd out of the formation lap. Still plenty of cars to come through, however. Panda just making it to the grid now, and Boss just out of 130R into the final chicane. So, yeah, this is going to be a long one, ladies and gentlemen, has to be said. And absolutely drama-filled, to say the very least, as Moss will make it finally to the AI point here. Tyres will probably be swapped out around lap 13 if the rain keeps up. And when saying that, I think there'll be a few more chances to do so during the race. Anyways, everyone's on the grid now. They all move up in line. And we know we're on spectator mode as we get underway here. The 5 red lights. And we're on the way here in Japan. Dinho, a decent enough getaway here. Kenny, a little bit tepid off the line as the grid behind really struggles to see what's happening here. A bird's eye there from Formal to try and make it through. Dinho gets the lead, and oh, that's a car spun. That's done into the grass. Formal moves all the way up into 6 here, and Stover into 12th as well. The cars now go through the S's for the first time, and Formal, he has a massive slide, able to keep it on the gravel, however, as he now falls all the way down. And where do you go in this grid? Everywhere there seems to be drama, as, oh, what's happened there? Oh, there's a massive clutter of cars as Senpai's been spun, and that's interrupted dashing and money and Formula as well. Oh, that is catastrophic stuff, to say the very least there, as, oh, that was a bit of a slide out of the double right-handers there into the hairpin. This could be where a fair bit of drama holds up here as Stan goes for a move, trying to go around the outside, but now he needs to defend against Moss. Moss, can he get the position here? No, he gets bumped off! He gets bumped by Stan there! And with wet weather conditions as well, losing a front wing can be absolutely horrific. As they now struggle here through the spoon. Midnight and Focus, lie and wait to gain a position back. As we go back to the front of the grid here. As Dinho, a good start from him. He's able to hold lean over Flying Finn, who overtook his teammate Kenny. And then Baz and Darkley and Tico and Winslow behind them. It's an absolute train here in the midfield at the moment. Everyone tries their best to survive the conditions here. These very, very tepid conditions as well. Dover currently in an AlphaTauri sandwich here. Trying to gain some position back, but hitting the wet. It's already hard enough track to overtake on, but added this sort of rain makes your life very, very hard. Oh, there we go. There's a bit of a moment there for both AlphaTauri. Stover trying to make advantage of it here. Can't go through the inside. He's actually gone wide, and that might just open it up for Stan. As Panda gets a 3-second penalty here, Stan, we're going to try and overtake Dover. Might be able to do it here on the inside. It's getting so close, but he has to bail out of it here. Doesn't want to get pinched into the apex as Dover just gives Panda a little love tap there out of the hairpin. As Baz has been able to overtake Darkly in the process. He now moves up into 5th. Darkly, though, looking to try and regain. If he can, Tico not far off as well. Yeah, behind them, a train is forming here with the Alpha Tauris, keeping up Dover and Stein and Moss as well up here, and then that's a spin out there for Andy Rue on the hairpin. Might just allow Formal to possibly fight for second to last spot as Haydinho goes for yet another fast lap there. As now he's trying to bridge a gap between himself and the two McLarens. But Darkly, he wants to try and have a move on him here, but that just blocks him off, denies him a clean racing line, and he'll be able to keep up for Ragnar into the pits now, as I'll drop him back to 18th. The cars just continue to snake along here. At Japan, everyone just being so patient, not wanting to take too many risks here, unless their car go into the wall with how much lanes now currently on the track here. As Andy as well has gone into the pits as all CJ goes wide. He might just open up from his teammate and Dover. He's got the overtake now. Winslow needs to block off from Dover. Hasn't been able to here. Now that might just open up for Stun. So he goes around the inside. Dover on the outside. Who has the better traction? It looks like Dover will. So he's able to just grip onto 9th. But now that might open up for Moss as well here in the midfield. As they come through the spoon here. So Winslow goes a little wide there, but Dover unable to bridge a gap in time. But he's now right up his clacker here. Dover goes onto the inside. Winslow has to be careful here. Can't get pinged for over-aggressive overtaking or defending again here. And Dover has gone a bit wide there at 130R. Might just open it back up to Winslow's. Andy Rue is now out of the session. And that will be a safety car, I presume. Yes, it is. As we're just trying to see where he might have binned it. It looks like it was just into that inside wall here. Won't be able to see it, unfortunately. The cameras will not show us what's happened to him, and he's already gone. But yeah, that is a huge benefit there to Formal and Ragnar and the other Red Bull Earth Basing as well, who just had absolutely disastrous starts. They'll be able now to regather their Fords, catch up, and probably take a chance to change tyres as well here. So they'll be on slightly fresher rubber compared to the rest of the field. Yeah, now everyone needs to now reset here, get back in a nice large pack. As DNF of Andy Rue, we'll see a safety car here on lap for number 4. Now just need to move my Discord over here. Okay, that should all be good there. My apologies for leaving you with that screen, although it does fix the little bug that was big of us where the safety car was not showing up. But anyways, that's now fixed. I've looked at all my Discord pings and we should be able to continue on here. Well, in a few laps time at the very least, once the safety car has caught up to Haydinho. Yeah, we might have a bit of a wait, however, until such time. As the car's going so slowly here in the safety car period. And after what feels like 2 minutes, only now is Haydinho catching up to Burt Mylander just past the opening few corners here. And it'll be a very long slog for everyone to... oh, that's a penalty there. Focus. Not having too much damage there, but nothing but tilt. Looks like he's just ran in behind and he's gone into the pits. Yeah, that's an obvious front wing change right there. He might even lose a spot to Tico because of it here. maybe even a spot to basing and Ragnar as well. Will be touch and go for him. As the wing only comes on now, he has been forced to serve that 5-second penalty. Now only moving out of his box now. Basic will be very touch and go if he can get past in time. Can he do it? Yes, he can. Can Ragnar go past as well? Just in the nick of time here. So the Red Bulls get a few spots back at the very least, as the field slowly but surely begins to clutter up behind the safety car. As I said, it probably will be a while until the safety car does eventually come into pits. It will be just a little bit of a wait for us here as Tyrone continues to take on down. Not really much to talk about, really. Dan does have a penalty to his name already. But he should be able to serve that off very, very soon enough. Oh, so, no, that's a track limits violation, so they won't be able to serve it off, so he'll have a 3-second penalty for the rest of the race over his head. For the drivers behind him, especially his teammate in Dover, who are chomping at the bit to get past. And Starn as well. He was able to just block off for as long as he could, and well, it's worked out for him. He now gets a safety car to try and pull back down his tyres. Yeah, for everyone else, especially as I said earlier, the Red Bulls will be very, very happy that safety car's been called out here, because that just allows them now to re-gather the rest of the field and hopefully give themselves a fighting chance of collecting a few more points. So as the car continues to move around here, should be in this lap normally, but yeah, with the weather being this bad, they can occasionally be a bug, but the safety car just stays out for a little while longer in these situations. But it was mostly in previous games. I haven't really seen too much in this iteration of the F1 video game, so hopefully it won't be too much of an issue, as Dinho first of all waits for Burt to remove the yellow flag. So Starn has collided into Dover, and Dover getting a reciprocal as well. I'm just seeing if there's any time, or if there's any damage here for Starn, because Dover looks like he's having an issue, but yeah, Starn has lost an end plate there. And now he has a hard question to make for himself here. Does he pit now and go straight to the back of the pack, because everyone will have been able to catch up by now? Or does he just stay out there for the moment, try and build up a gap, and hopefully try and slot in a few laps times just in front of the Red Bulls? We'll find out soon enough though, as safety car will be in this lap. Hayden immediately lets off the gas to let Burt Mylander, or to allow him to find a safe enough gap. He's not leaving a big enough gap in my opinion at the very least, so this could be bad for Dinho. If he hits pit limiter on wet, it would be huge for the McLarens behind, as safety car falls in. Dinho presses the go button. Not the best of starts for him here, as the McLarens look to try and catch up as quickly as they can. Dinho now starts to stretch out the gap here, as Starn is coming into the pits there, and nothing but tilt has had a poor start. He is straight to the back of the pack here. Everyone else here doesn't look like it has happened off the safety car start. Badge just waiting for the opportunity to pounce on Darkly. And here we go, Midnight. He's lost it. He's spinned it there at the first of the S's. Being lucky to keep that car moving and importantly not into a wall. These cars now to the tyres yet again. Oh, this is actually interesting here for Stan. He's gone on to intermediate, so he's taking a risk. That the rain has let up just enough that the green wall tyres might just give him an advantage here. As looks like money has come to blows and he now falls behind. Darkly now seeing a train start to pull behind him here. Baz and Panda and Dover as well. Dover has actually jumped Winslow. Winslow's lost the spot to Moz as well. A lot of drama happening here as Basing and Tico and Max and Ragnar as well. Max is going for a move. Can he do it at 130R? Yes, he can, but he forces Ragnar very wide indeed. Might be a bit of a risky enough overtake there, but he went to it, and that could have been a little bit dangerous as Max will now move up to 14th, just behind his teammate in 13th. Now Dover trying desperately to find a position here over Panda, but the gap's starting to build up for him here. Might just have to wait a little while longer here. As Baz just hounding Darkly through the final few S's here. Really wanting to try and get past this racing point as quickly as he can here. He wants to try and get onto the podium, Baz. Maybe win if he can. As there we go, Darkly has actually gone very wide through the two right-handers. You can see it on camera because the tree just interrupted the view. And well, Baz, he's now up to 4th, and he's been let least now to get past or get up to Kenny and Finn. As it looks like Focus now has spun it at the S's. Stan should be able to get past him without too many hassles here. We will focus on him just for a touch here as he is improving on his times here, probably not by enough to get the others to think about moving on to the intermediates, but if he can just keep adding time here, he might just get a jump on a few of these back markers, which would be absolutely huge as go back to the fight for 5th. Darkly still holding up Panda and Dover and Moss as well here. 4-car train now in the field as Basing just keeps his position over the wall, but Midnight now possibly in a position to pounce on him if he does want to risk it, but it doesn't look like he will. As the cars just make their way through the first 2 corners. No massive overtakes just yet for these 4 cars. But Moss is right up the tail of Dover here, and Dover looking to try and pressurize Panda as much as he can here. Darkly really holding up this field here and backing him up into Senpai. It's time to slowly but surely gain as Stan. He's just done both of the Red Bulls here. I think they might be looking to possibly come in onto intermediates. No, they're just swapping tyres and wings, so it seems here. So Stan we'll continue on as, oh, there's a bit of contact there, and oh, there's drama aplenty as Darkly somehow holds position, but Dover has been spun out in the process, and he's losing a heck of a lot of positions now, all the way down to 11, and Panda now looking for a chance to do Darkly here out of the hairpin into that flowing right-hander. Will he have it done? Yes, he will. Darkly can't do anything about it here. And now Moss carrying a lot of speed as well. Might look to try and overtake the now damaged Racing Point at Darkly. He is catching up along with Senpai. Now Panda has been released behind the Racing Point, or from the Racing Point. He'll be looking to try to catch up to Baz, who is keeping the drives in front somewhat honest at the moment. But Darkly now, interesting choice for him to make here. Does he want to maybe risk going onto the intermediates when he pits? Because Stan is really, well, he's not completely improving here and a way that you'd go wow, but he is gaining on the back markers on the intermediates. He's also starting to gain a fraction here on the front runners as well, so these intermediates starting to warm up now. Probably enough rain that's been cleared off the track to maybe suggest that intermediates might just be a play to be thinking with us. Oh, that's a spin and a half there for Pan, able to keep it together. And well, he does a full 360. He immediately pirouettes back, but he loses a fair few positions here, and he might have to be a little bit worried about his teammate now. Grizz running up behind as wait a minute. What's up with Dinho? What's up with Dinho as Panda continues to spin in the first sector? Dinho has somehow lost his lead in the race there. Must have had a half spin or something, because Finn now is in the lead. Dinho second, Finn in third, and that is continuing to catch up to Kenny Salmon here. So yeah, a bit of a curiosity there in the front of the grid as Finn now in the lead. As Panda, well, he's had enough. He's going to be DNFing out of the session, and that could be a full course safety car. It's going to be a VSC here. And that could just open up a few pit stops here. As Senpai, oh, he's collided with Darkly somehow. That's probably just ran straight into the back as Darkly's trying to get the limiter, or the delta time, sorry, in a reasonable spot here. But yeah, he will definitely need a pit now. You'll probably be talking to Stan, seeing if the intermediates might be a right call, and here we go, Kenny Salmon. He's gone on to the green walls as well. He's taking the free pit stop to do so. He might lose a spot between, well, he'll lose 2 spots behind Darkly and Moss, but this could be a huge gamble here for Kenny Salmon. Takes a free pit stop, and cars are slowly but surely starting to trickle into the pits here for a change of tyres, but they're not all going on to intermediates here. Winslow's goes on to intermediates, but Senpai stays on the wets as we're back on the green flag conditions here. So those cars will get a slight benefit from pitting early, but not the full reduced time of about 7 or 8 seconds really. So benefit. So that's it's not fully ideal, but they'll be more than happy to take that little chance. But we'll focus on Kenny for the moment because, well, he is now on the intermediates here, and we should be looking at that time, because if that really starts to come in here, excuse me, and if it starts coming by about second a lap, that's probably when you're going to see cars really start to go for the overtakes, as Stan, who's up into knife now, midnight, just trying to see out these wets for as long as he possibly can here. Kenny is slowly gaining, but it's still a little tepid for him, has to be said. Still losing in a few parts of the track, but overall looks like he is starting to gain a bit here. And that could just force the hands of the cars in front, especially Finn, Dinho and Baz. Baz more so. So stands behind at the moment. Probably wouldn't mind taking the risk of pitting now, getting into somewhat clear traffic, and just wailing on those intermediates to try and improve, as Kenny overtakes Darkly, who heads in to the pits now. Let's see what Darkly decides to do here as Stan makes his charge up the field. He is trying to get past Monty. Will be able to do so, and quite nicely as well at the chicane as well, as Darkly now heads onto intermediates as well. So we are probably at the crossover point at the moment here. Kenny slowly but surely improving as Stan on these, well, up to temperature intermediates now. Let's really start to catch up these cars on wets who haven't pitted yet, and that could just force the hand of a fair few drivers here. Just a lot of the cars who may have had trouble early on should possibly look for a pit stop onto Winters right now. Pretty surprised if one of the Red Bulls decided to go on to the intermediate tyres right now, but the problem for them is they are in a position where they could just be lapped if someone like Forball went into the pits. So being very mindful of that in the Red Bull garage. As Stan continues to catch up to Regnor here, it's actually catching up to him in a pretty decent click, and Kenny should have command of the race as soon as Flying Finn hits now. He's past that delta time. Oh, sorry, he's past the predicted pit stop time. And there we go. Kenny Salmon now heads into the pit. Dinho returns into pole position as This could be a nice move here for Stein if he can make it stick. He goes on the inside, and that should be a slam dunk on Ragnar. But we'll focus in on Flying Finn as he just trundles to the end of the pits here. But here comes his teammate Kenny. He's going a full ball. He posted the fastest lap, and he is able to jump his teammate here. And that gap to Aidinho is shrinking very, very quickly here. They might be kicking themselves by not pitting at the moment, as most of the field looks like they are ready to dump the wets and go on to the intermediates here. Could possibly even see some dry racing towards the end of this Grand Prix. We'll just have to wait and see, as Kenny Salmon is absolutely flying at the moment here. He is really cutting the times out of Baz and Aidinho. Well, at the moment, once the safety car comes out, he probably has a race lead in his hands. And Aidinho and Baz probably just waiting for the pit stop windows to try and go for the change. Well, it might really bite him on the backside here. Starting as well, really starting to fly at the moment. You won't catch up to Baz and Aidinho in time, you would think, but he is improving, and he continues to improve as Darkly Ely has Midnight Somber here. Midnight starting to fall back. He's had a moment there at the bridge. Well, those wets are probably starting to hamper him up, as we'll have Senpai, who went onto the wets very early on, along with Basing and Tiller and Dover and Focus as well. Formal has pitted now for the intermediates here. But look at this, Baz now comes in, will be easily done by the two McLarens, as yet another fastest lap comes into Kenny's hands, and Aidinho, now he has to be very worried here, because if he doesn't pit soon enough, especially when, I believe that's a, let's see what penalty he has here. I think it's only a 3-second penalty. Yeah, it's only a 3-second penalty here, but still, Starter's now really catching up to him here. And Aidinho, he needs to be very careful about when, or how he's going to pit and how he's going to finish off the remainder of this lap, because he is really starting to struggle here on these wets. The tires must be crying out for water, and he's not really, and he's not even going on to off the racing line to try and cool him down. He's sticking to the racing line. That's just increasing the temperatures of the tires. He goes into the wets now a little bit, but Aidinho in a horrid position right now. Needed to pit a little while ago, and now his time just continues to tumble down. At the moment, it looks like he will be in 4th place once he pits, and Start continues and continues to gain on him as well. So that 3-second penalty, Start might possibly be in a virtual 4th place as well. And Aidinho has to come into the pits now, or this race will just fall away from him here. He sticks to the inside, and that means he dives into the pit lane here. But has he stayed out too long? We'll find out very shortly here, as Kenny and Finn will easily get past here. Kenny on yet another fast lap, really driving the tyres off these intermediates, as Aidinho, quick pit stop here, but Baz and Stan in the wing mirrors here. Will he get out in time? No, he won't for Baz. And he's going to run out of time just for Stan, but Stan is still charging down to him here, and he will be on very, very warm tyres as well. So gap will continue to close there for Stan. In fact, it's just peaked outside of that 3-second window for him there. Let's see if he can continue the momentum on, but for now at the very least, Kenny Salmon in the lead here, as Focus has now been lapped. He also went onto the wets over the past few laps. Well, all these cars now should be feeling the pain. Only him and Basic yet to pit, as Winslow cops a 3-second penalty there. Well, Basic now comes into the pits. Will probably drop all the way down to 15th spot, you would have to say. Yeah, the Red Bulls, when they came in for damage, it looks like perfect chance to go on intermediates, just risk something, but they played it safe. They went for the wets, and well, that has cost them severely after it was a decent qualifying effort from him, has once again just been destroyed within the opening few laps. Field also fairly spread out right now. Not too many cars within close enough proximity to Field also fairly spread out right now. Not too many cars within close enough proximity to maybe force a big issue here. As Kenny continues to just drive the wheels off this car, but as he's just posted a fastest lap here, so he is going to be starting to feel for the greens as Till gets a 3-second penalty there for track violations. So we might once again see Baz flying at the end of this Grand Prix. Remember, Kenny has been driving those tyres for 4 laps now. They've been driving somewhat hard as well, so that could become a bit of an issue for McLaren towards the end of this race. And well, you never know, Flying Finn might just find himself a back-to-back double, something that would be pretty darn huge. So Starner's had a moment there, so it seems, as Winslow just tumbles down. He's just coming to the pits. Looks like he's popped damage, so I should see Tico get past, possibly even Midnight. But he's back moving right now, Winslow, so we'll be very, very touch and go. As Midnight's just done enough to get past him. And now he'll be looking to just try and keep that position here. Midnight, so let's see what he can do there. And Starn, after having, well, it was a pretty good time on the intermediates early, has fallen all the way back to 7th here after a little bit of a kerfuffle there. Earlier as that is Winslow once again just struggling with the S's there. He didn't get posted as a fastest lap, but Winslow now it's 14. Just giving Basic a chance now to continue his recovery drive up the field. Yeah, for the Red Bulls at the very least, they'll be hoping for another safety car here to possibly bring him back into this race. Safety car would be huge for someone like Star right now, who might be able to take a cheeky pit stop and only lose a position for it, but he's going to go into the pits right now, and he'll probably lose a little bit more. Probably loses up to Senpai. Sliding between him and Tico. And Senpai actually goes for a move on money as well on the straight at the moment, so nice overtake from him. Starn is actually hit it decently well, and he's out into 8th, so that prediction completely wrong, but for the Renault, yeah, he takes 1 position beside it. Oh, money, he's out. He's lost it where I believe Andy Root did earlier. That won't cause a safety car, however, which is somewhat interesting as King Salmon goes fastest yet again. Odd how the game thinks earlier this would have been enough for a safety car, but this time around, it's only good enough for a local caution. As we do have nothing but Tilt DNFing out as well. So drama aplenty here over the past few corners, as yellow flags are now everywhere. Winslow spinning it in the S's again, as that will force Flying Finn to take some evasive action there and slowing down. Tilt now parking it up on the inside. But, that I believe is Bass maybe having an issue there. Yeah, he is spun it round. We'll have to let Dover through, and possibly his teammate as well. Yep, not Finn. Former will just say thank you very much, and goes past him now. as Red Bulls are now 13 and 14 respectively, trying to avoid being lapped. As it looks like Moss is now pitted. He will drop down the grid a little bit, but only down to 9. Tico in the background. Actually might just nab him here as Moss comes out of the pits. Tico powering through. Will he have enough? Taking on the outside? Yes, he will. So Tico just beating out Moss there out of the pits to move into the top 9. He'll be very, very happy with that. As might be a bit of a moment here between Starn and Ragnar. Starn just going purple there in the first sector. Trying to move up into 6 as Senpai behind him gets freezing a time penalty. So, what effect right now is all. That's a spin and a half there for Starn. Able to keep it together though. Has to be wary of his teammate though. Should just let Senpai through. He'll be back on his merry way there. But for Starn, he was chasing up to Ragnar very nicely and he's just spun it there at the hairpin and he's caused himself to lose a spot and maybe even a second because it did look like it was eventually going to get past that Williams. So, what? Winslow has had a mare there. They've put dries on. Put Matty Gallagher. And that's going to be, that's going to be pain and suffering for him. He is going to struggle for the remainder of the lap. We'll have to let Focus her eventually here. But yeah, we'll just hope for the best. Hopefully he'll make it back into the pits as, yep, he goes onto the grass. Let Focus through. Yeah, he's going onto softs and, well, way too early for that. Rain is starting to die off a touch, but not enough to bring out the soft rubber. As I believe that might be Starn bidding it yet again here. He's now struggling with the inters. He's spinning it around at these corners. Now we'll let Moss and Tico through here, so they move up to 8th and 9th respectively. Starn holds 10th below that. Freezing penalty might just bite him if he continues to have these moments, because that might just allow Midnight and possibly even Dover and the Red Bulls to come and catch him up. Yeah, not much else to report on at the moment here. Winslow just trying his best to make it back to the pits, has to be said. Having those dries on would be something else at the moment as, oh, he slides through 130R, able to keep it together, however. Yeah, surely he comes back into the pits now, and yeah, he just has to go straight from the corner, and he gets a 10-second penalty for that. And Basing's out at the hairpin. Kenny comes through, and looks like Basing, oh, that's disastrous. And I believe that will be a virtual safety car there. So the car really taken away. That gives Winslow a chance to possibly catch back up to Focus, but horrible stuff for the Red Bulls there as Focus gets a VSC drive-through there. And I believe that will be Moss heading back into the pits here, so he's had damage. And that should just allow Midnight and possibly even Dover to get in position there as Focus. He's just got 2 VSCs. Focus really racking him up here, and yeah, he's not happy. He's just stopped in the middle of the corner there. Yeah, horrid stuff there for the Alpha. As well, now Moss now cops it there for a drive-through infraction. So it's just a bit too quick. Back to start here now. He will have to come through the pit lane. We'll probably get lapped in the meantime. And now, oh, and he's spinning it as well here. He should just keep it still there to allow the clearance through. He does do so. And he'll be back on his merry way soon enough as Dinho and Baz now continue to fight here. Most of these cars looks like they're having issues making it around the track. Baz was in third for a bit, but looks like he's had a moment, and Dinho held to gap him there. As Dinho really starting to put the floor down here. He posted the fastest first sector. Going on very low ERS as well. Being very brave with the MG recovery, especially on the wets. Yeah, ERS can, especially when you hit the curve, it can definitely send you off the track and into a wall, so he has to be very careful about that. But for the moment, it seems to be working out for him here. As is, he's keeping somewhat behind, about a second on average, but yeah, Dinho all right here for third. Surprised we haven't seen a safety car. Well, second safety car so far, but as laps ticks away, that seems less and less likely, as I believe that will be Focus. Yep, he spins it around, and I believe he's about to be lapped by his own teammate, so well, that's something for you, as Baz gets the fastest lap going here. Focus really having a bad time of it, so, to be said. He now will be lapped by Dover as well. Probably lapped by Fool, and then the McLarens again to be 2 laps behind the pace, which will be very unfortunate for him, but yeah, he's obviously struggled here. He keeps spinning it, and he has a fair few VSCs, drive-throughs to his name as well. So, yeah, very unfortunate stuff for Focus, but there's always a chance to improve next week. So, Dinho and Baz, probably the main fight at the moment here. Senpai posted the fastest lap, but he has a 20-second gap to try and close down on between himself and Darkley. I don't think that'll be happening unless Darkley has a bit of a moment. But yeah, right now it's just turning into the McLaren show, as both McLarens to try and claw their ways into back into the constructors' fight to maybe even overtake the Scuderia, heading into the final races in Australia and Brazil, as Winslow gets a free single penalty for track violations. Focus has been lapped twice now, so he will be he'll be finishing with the McLarens than you would expect, but yeah, just with 2 less used tyres. It feels really spread out right now. It does feel like a bit of a Japanese Grand Prix right now, especially in the hybrid era, where unless there's been a bit of an incident, cars have just spread out here, tended to their own field, and you really just put the gaps on here as Focus heads back into the pits yet again. He's really struggling here as Dinho has now dropped off Baz. So unless we have a disastrous moment here for any one of our front runners, this is looking likely to be a McLaren 1-2. It will be huge for McLaren to get it as well, given that they would gain, well, an absolute mozza over Ferrari here, heading into the final weekend of action this weekend. Yeah, this is well, we expected a fair bit of drama here. There has been a fair few pirouettes, a fair few spins, and a fair few cars into the walls, but definitely wasn't as many safety cars as I was predicting here. Again, maybe just being wise to shenanigans with Burb Highlander out. Yeah, for now at the very least, Kenny Salmon holding a nice forcing gap over his teammate Flying Finn. Leads him on to the 24th lap. And 3 more to go after this lap. So, yeah, the Grand Prix has definitely quieted down here. Just cars beginning to be lapped by the front markers. But yeah, This is turned into a bit of a quieter finish than what most people would have been expecting. Moss has posted the fastest lap as Dover gets a free second penalty for track violations. But Max is far away enough that that shouldn't be an issue for him. So not really many penalties that could possibly affect here. Hey, Dinho doesn't have a free second penalty now. Could just open up for Baz to maybe sneak onto the grid, onto the podium, sorry. If he can just nail the final few laps here. Well, he is actually keeping up with the Haas driver as well, so Baz might be able to sneak on to yet another 30 and just try and minimise the damage here for the Scuderia and the constructors. Dover is starting to get a little close here to midnight. He's got a free second penalty to his name, so he would need to nail him pretty much this lap and then build up a massive gap between himself and the Alpha. That's something that that the Ferrari outfit really need. As I said earlier, McLaren's also chomping him a little bit here in the point standings. Yeah, Baz currently in fourth here, trying to just keep position to hold on to third. Should be able to do it if he doesn't get any penalties himself. But yeah, that could just be the best way for the Ferrari boys to minimise the damage here after, well, 2 good runs here for McLaren this weekend. Flying Finn picking up the first and then Kenny picking up the second race. Just open it up. Next weekend for McLaren to snipe away the Constructors' Championship away from the Ferrari boys. So Kenny just going past 130R right now. As he's done the chicane in the final corner, 2 laps to go. Well, it has definitely turned into a bit of a possession here for Kenny Salmon. He was caught behind a little bit, but he made the call to a bit of a possession here for Kenny Salmon. He was caught behind a little bit, but he made the call. Deontay enters earlier than the rest of the front pack, and well, he took full advantage. Able to jump his teammate, able to jump Dinho and Baz as well, and it has worked off a massive, massive treat for him there. That's Finn. He'll be happy with the first in China and the second in excuse me, the second here in Japan. He has flown an absolute bolter of a weekend here. And as my throat starts to be very, very cooked here, drivers only have a few more corners to get through for the checkers wave. And we'll see if the McLaren's confirm their 1-2. No one really challenging the position at the moment here. Dover need to maybe have something here on midnight. And so make their way towards 130R. But midnight just holding position at the moment. Dover a bit too far back to attack really. And they both might be under threat from being lapped here by Kenny in the final few laps anyhow. So be very mindful of that. Come across to complete what could be the last or their final lap here. We do know Kenny now on his way to complete his last lap here. As I said, he's driven a brilliant race here, has made the perfect tactical calls. throughout, and it's really paid off massively for him here. He's going to win yet another race here in the Formula F1 League. And he's going to do it in style as well. His teammate just also having an absolutely huge weekend, doing massive work to hold out in China for just doing what he needs to do as a good teammate here in McLaren, making sure his teammate just doesn't have any issues, and well, he's made sure that Kenny has had a good drive. Bass now just holding position behind Haydenio here. That free-second penalty might just cost the Haas driver in the end here. Baz, the free-second gap here as Dover finally overtakes Midnight, but with the free-second penalty, that shouldn't be an issue for Midnight. He'll probably keep that position. Well, that's if he does get lapped here. Dover does continue on, or they both continue on here. That might just open up for Dover, build up another gap to maybe just grab 10th place here, as Astan has overtaken Tico here at the first corner. Moves up to 8th now, but he has penalties as well, so he has to keep an eye on that. But as they come towards the finish line here, Kenny Salmon, he's dominated the Japanese Grand Prix, and he is going to win in commanding fashion. Flying Finn caps off a beautiful weekend for himself to finish off in second. Haydenio, now he's built up a little bit of a gap between Baz, but it won't be enough. So he crosses the line in third, but he'll end up in fourth. Baz does enough with penalties? Wait a minute. Is that a bug? Must have been, because, yeah, that is apparently Haydenio getting third place there. So, interesting enough, as Winslow has binned it yet again. So, he will now just be fair ways behind here. He's just trying to finish up the Grand Prix. As cars will cross the line soon enough. Senpai, the next one to do so. Just has a massive gap between himself and Regnor, so doesn't really matter for him, as Dover has crashed out. That won't affect him, however, as he's got enough of a gap between, well, he hasn't been lapped yet, so he will keep 11th because of it here. The next few cars come across the line. First one will be Regnor, then Tico, it's done. He gets dropped back to 9th. Tico holding on for that 8th place. That means we've got 2 more cars to wait for here. Midnight and Winslow. Winslow making his way through 130R right now, I believe. And Midnight, well, he's just coming through the chicane, so that's going to be your Grand Prix here. Looks like Haydenio does grip onto third, even though he did have a black and white flag to his name, but there we are. There we go, the cars are now through. And we should have results confirmations very shortly. Midnight though, he actually gets driver of the day. That is huge stuff from there. Good stuff from the Alpha. As Kenny Salmon comes out, takes a selfie, and well, he'll celebrate here as Haydenio. Looks like he will keep onto that third place there. Would have thought with, unless that black and white flag was accident for Baz, and I've just misread it the entire time. Yeah, a little bit surprised with that glitch there from the game, but anyhow, Baz has not been able to get to fourth. Haydenio will hold the podium. And yep, there we go. And well, just a 3-second penalty, but interesting. I think we'll have that double checked in the stewards meeting, but anyhow, your standings from Japanese Grand Prix at the moment. Kenny, a dominant winner there, Kenny Salmon, followed by Flying Finn. Haydenio holds on to third, then Baz and Darkly to finish up the top 5, then Six Senpai, Regnor, Tico, Stan, who was at every single high and low, then Midnight, Dover, Formal, Moss, Winslow, Focus, Basic, the first at DNFers along with Money, Tilt, Panda, and Andy Roo.